Good morning, everyone, and I would like to thank all of you for making yourself available for this meeting. I have received apologies for absence from Mr. Tomil Holland, who cannot join this meeting as he is attending a course in Kuala Lumpur. I am afraid Mr. Peter Parking cannot be with us too today as he is on medical leave. This is our second meeting to discuss on what our company can do to assist children and youth in facing COVID-19 pandemic nowadays. Before we proceed, I would like everyone to go over the minutes of our previous meeting. Do you have any amendment to make?
Excuse me, Mr. Chairperson. I think there is a slight error in the date of the past meeting on my record. We had our last meeting on 31st January 2022, which is a day before the date that is written here.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Arham. Yes, I remember that precisely. I take note of this and make necessary correction letter. Is there any other amendment?
Mr. Chairperson, I think there is one more amendment. There is a slight mistake in the spelling of Dr. Strange's name. His real name is Dr. Stephen Strange, but here it is written only as Dr. Strange without Stephen.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Imdad. In that case, would someone propose that the minute of the previous meeting be accepted, please?
I propose that the minute be accepted.
Thank you, Mr. Arham. Could someone please second the proposal?
I second the proposal.
All right, thank you. I hereby confirm the minutes of the last meeting with two amendments. Before we proceed with the agendas, is there any arising matter that anyone would like to ask?
Yes, Mr. Haji. We have two active bank accounts. First, the Maybank account, which is the main bank for the company, and the second bank account is Bank Islam account. Bank Islam account is used for the charitable associations by our company. So I just would like to know which bank accounts we will use for donations.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Arham. Mr. Imdad, could you please respond to these questions?
Yes, Mr. Hayi. In my opinion, we shall use the Bank Islam account because it is particularly designated for humanitarian missions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Imdad. Is there anything else? Right, if there is nothing more, let us move on to our first meeting agenda. Well, our company would like to help children and youth that have been affected with COVID-19 pandemic. So, so I would like to hear suggestions from all of you about what we can do to assist them.
Mr. Hayi, since the emergence of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have seen many students affected by online learning problems. There are students who are unable to participate in online learning sessions due to problems with their laptops that may not be fast enough to participate in learning activities. This is because the laptops they have are outdated and need to be exchanged to a higher level. So I would like to suggest that our company have to donate a high speed of laptops and tablets for students to participate in online learning.
I agree with you. There's a necessity for us to present some reasonably superior laptop computers and tablets for the educational use of youngsters and adolescents at home. This can be necessary to prevent them from being left behind in their learning syllabus. We are able to grasp that Almost all of the youngsters and adolescents have technical issues once attempting to open their laptop or tablet, such as lagging, bugs, and others.
Hmm. Regrettably, I must disagree. I believe that donating a high performance laptop will encourage youngsters and adolescents to use it for frivolous activities such as playing games and watching movies. Furthermore, in this day of unrestrained entertainment, we can observe their behavior and attitudes on social media, which are extremely wide and outlandish. We can see from social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok that these generations will take advantage of the assistance they receive rather than use it appropriately. Unfortunately, I believe that these proposals do more harm than good.
I see your point, but I think donating a simple performing laptop is better option for children and youth. With this type of laptop, they will find it difficult to use it for video games. They can only use it for medium usage because with the simple specification laptop is not capable of opening extreme video games. It will also mean there will be more disciplines than if they have a high specification laptop.
I actually agree with both views. I am interested in suggesting that we donate a laptop for the use of children and youth. Maybe we can add on to give free Wi-Fi access for 1 year for them so that they don't have internet problems when using the laptops for study. At the same time, we will donate a type of moderate performance laptop so that these students will not be able to misuse the functions of the laptops and use them in the best possible way.
I think those ideas are brilliant. I agree with you. I believe we need to donate a type of moderate performance laptop and at the same time give them free Wi-Fi access along with 1 year.
I couldn't agree more. Okay, maybe we need to survey the behavior of students who are at home through online surveys and come out with precise ideas on the types of laptops, Wi-Fi plans, and more detail on the ideas to contribute. Can we agree on this, everyone?
Yes,
Yes.
I agree.
Yes,
Okay, good. I would like Mr. Arham to study the details and present them in our next meeting. Okay, thank you. Now let's move on to our next decision on how we can assist children and youth that are affected with floods and more. I would like to know if we can contribute to any other aspects. Can I have some suggestions?
Mr. Hayi, I believe we can preparing basic needs for those who were affected by the floods, such as foods, water, clothes, and hygiene care, especially for women. We especially also try to prepare any volunteer to participate in sending all these needs.
That sounds like a very good idea. Could you please tell us how to go about it?
When disaster strikes, people everywhere want to help those in need. To ensure that this compassion and generosity are put into arranged form, we need to find volunteers to realize this mission. We will ask any citizens who wants to be volunteer to register their name on the Google form that we provided. After that, we will state the date to send the food aid, necessities, comforter, and any other things. Apart from that, we also need to understand the victim's preferences of what they will need the most in order to provide the best service to them. A study is what is required. We can set up several teams to collect data and collaborate together. Using the data, we can approach the flood victims with the best things which are tailored to their needs.
Perhaps I should make it clearer by saying that we can approach flood victims, study their needs, and come up with help that can best suit their needs.
Yes, exactly.
I agree with that. We'll also can donate some money for them because they really need it to survive in life. Furthermore, COVID-19 is still exists in the world. COVID-19 has affected human beings in economy sector. So many youth were asked to quit job because all sector want to reduce people. So the money that we give to them will help them to continue their surviving in this world.
I think I agree with that. Is there anything that anyone of you would like to add?
I think I totally agree with both suggestions.
Yes, I agree too.
Thank you, everyone. I would like Mr. Khalid and Mr. Shamil to look further into these matters. You may set your team to study the ideas and report back to us in the next meeting. Now, let us discuss our final agenda, which is to ensure nobody is left behind in receiving the assistance they need. Mr. Imdad, could you please explain this to us?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson. Our company will ensure nobody is left behind in receiving the assistance they need, especially children and youth facing the COVID-19 pandemic, flood, and economic downturn. A coordinated implementation will ensure more cohesive and structured actionable measures to achieve short and medium-term goals for everyone's prosperity. We would also like to ensure continuity in policy and assistance provided to people and businesses by strengthening resilience in the face of crisis, by protecting people's and businesses' means of livelihood and incomes opportunities, and by catalyzing structural reforms in the post-pandemic period in order for the nation to emerge more competitive. In addition to ensuring greater sustainability and inclusiveness in its development agenda. In addition to ensuring greater sustainability and inclusiveness in its development agenda. In addition, our company will continue efforts to protect and generate new job opportunities, which will continue to be a priority. From an education perspective, we will upgrade the digital infrastructure and applications in order to enable the education system to adjust towards supporting online education from home. Digital infrastructure and applications will also play an important role in ensuring economic sectors remain operational and productive during the MCO.
What would you suggest our company needs to do in order to make this happen?
In order to make this succeed, I suggest that our company join forces with non-governmental organizations, NGOs. Our company will spend the money and send a few representatives to join the NGOs to make donations to those affected. This will help to facilitate the contribution process as there is a large workforce. When the workforce is sufficient, the contribution process will proceed smoothly as each of the affected victims destinations will have representatives from our company along with NGOs to complete the donation process.
I agree with this. Since NGOs usually have a lot of experience with humanitarian activities, somehow they will manage to make sure all of the people in need of help and assistance get the item we want to donate.
I could not agree more. Mr. Imdad, please take action and report in the next meeting. I'm afraid we have a few minutes left. Is there any other business to discuss?
Yes. Do we get some financial allocations to include in our reports?
Oh, yes, that is a good question. Please state the expected budget that you need to carry out the task and send the draft of your budget proposal to me. I will try to get it approved and released within 2 weeks. Is there anything else to bring to attention?
All clear.
Yeah.
All right. Since there is no other matter, let us bring this meeting to a close for today. Let us recap the meeting outcomes before that. We agree that we need to donate a type of moderately performing laptop and at the same time give them free Wi-Fi access for 1 year. Mr. Aroham will study the details of the types of laptops, Wi-Fi plans, and more ideas to contribute the present and present them at our next meeting. We also agree that we can approach flood victims, study their needs, and come up with help that can best suit their needs. Mr. Khalid, together with Mr. Shamil, will look further into these matters. Finally, we have a clear method to ensure that all those categories will get the donation from our company, and Mr. Imdad will be the person in charge of this. We will meet again in the next meeting on the 28th of June. You have precisely a month to prepare for your report. See you in the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson.
Thank you.